Hey YouTube, what's going on? So in today's video we're going to talk about the difference between oversteer and understeer. In both situations the car is not responding how you want it to, but there are some differences between the two of them. So for the first example, we'll talk about understeering. We'll say we're trying to make a left-hand turn. We have our line of vision and where we want the car to go. So as we enter the turn, we're making the left, and the car is underperforming, so it's not going as far left as we want it to, and really starting to veer to the right to the point that you can actually drive off the track. In an oversteering situation, an extreme case of that is like a drift car. You know, they pretty much oversteer around the whole track intentionally, but just so you get the visual. But as you go into the turn, it's pretty much the same thing. You want to make a left-hand turn, you have your line that you want to drive, and as you go into it, the car overperforms and kind of cuts in to the point where the rear tires break loose and you can lose control of the car. Now, approaching the car is probably the first thing that you can do. There's some things that you can adjust both mechanically and aerodynamically. For mechanics, you can change the camber on the car as well as the toe and your suspension stiffness. If you have a car that's oversteering, you'll want to stiffen up the suspension in the front, soften it in the rear. And for understeering, you'll want to reverse it, stiffen it in the rear, and then soften it in the front. As far as your camber and toe, in the front, you pretty much have a wide variety of options that you can do. You can do toe in or toe out, as well as a wide variety of camber angles. For the rear, since it's behind the center of gravity, you're pretty much always going to stick with a toe in and a negative camber on it. That's just probably the best approach for that, just because it's kind of like being on a roller coaster. You kind of get that whip. Since it's behind the center of gravity, it's just kind of following along, and that's just really the best setting for it. Outside of that, you have the aerodynamics, which again, if you have an oversteering car, you'll want to put more downforce to the rear of the car so that those tires have more traction. And if you have an understeering car, you'll want to put more downforce to the front tires or the front axles so that those tires have traction throughout the turn. Outside of that, the next thing to really approach is you yourself as the driver. You know, the best thing about driving and being a race car driver is that you have to adapt to everything that's going on, the people that you're racing against, the elements outside, the weather conditions, and then your car itself. So as you get more experience and you get more track time, you'll be able to pick up on if the car is oversteering or understeering and be able to change your driving style to compensate for those errors. So you might have to start braking earlier, be less aggressive with the throttle, turn in earlier. All of these things are techniques that you'll learn along the way. And it's important to keep a log, to know if you're, losing traction on a low rate of speed turn, high rate of speed turn, if it's when you're on the brakes or on the throttle. So, all of these things need to be considered. Do yourself a favor, keep a log, whether you keep it on your computer or in a notebook, just so that you have an idea of how your car is driving, what the weather conditions are, just so that you can keep making progress, keep moving forward, and not have these issues. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe for the channel, and add your comments below. I'll see you guys on the next one.